Jordan Peterson is a Canadian psychologist, professor, and author who is known for his controversial views on social and political issues. One of his most widely discussed areas of focus is identity politics, and what he considers to be the Marxist lie of white privilege. In this article, we will provide an overview of Peterson's views on this topic, as well as 5 key takeaways. 1. What is identity politics? Identity politics refers to a political ideology that centers around the idea of social identities and the ways in which they intersect with power structures. This includes identities based on race, gender, sexuality, and other factors. Advocates of identity politics argue that these identities are integral to an individual's experience of oppression or privilege, and that political activism must take these identities into account. 2. Peterson's critique of identity politics. Peterson is a vocal critic of identity politics, which he sees as a divisive force that undermines individual responsibility and promotes victimhood. Peterson argues that identity politics is based on a false premise that individuals can be reduced to their social identities and that this creates a dangerous us versus them mentality that leads to conflict and resentment. For Peterson, the focus should be on individual identity rather than collective identity, and on personal responsibility rather than victimhood. 3. White privilege as a Marxist lie. Peterson is also highly critical of the concept of white privilege, which he sees as a Marxist construct designed to sow division and create a sense of guilt and shame among white people. Peterson argues that the idea of white privilege suggests that success and status are solely the result of one's race, rather than individual effort and merit. He believes that this is a dangerous and inaccurate narrative that pits people against each other. 4. Individual rights and responsibilities. Central to Peterson's view of identity politics is the idea of individual rights and responsibilities. He argues that individuals must be held responsible for their actions and decisions, regardless of their social identities. This means rejecting the idea of collective guilt or punishment based on group identities. Peterson believes that the focus should be on individual achievement and personal responsibility, rather than group identities or social hierarchies. 5. Free speech and open dialogue. Peterson is a strong advocate for free speech and open dialogue as a means of combating the dangers of identity politics. He believes that the only way to address difficult social and political issues is through honest and open discussions, rather than suppressing or silencing dissenting viewpoints. Peterson argues that free speech and open dialogue are essential components of a healthy democratic society. In summary, Jordan Peterson's views on identity politics center around the idea of individual responsibility, and reject the notion that social identities determine one's success or failure. He is highly critical of the concept of white privilege, which he views as a Marxist lie designed to create division and resentment. Peterson emphasizes the importance of individual rights and responsibilities, and advocates for free speech and open dialogue as a means of addressing social and political issues.